Three,
two, one. Whew.
Oh my gosh.
What is up?
What is up? Well,
Yeah.
This has been a long time coming.
A long time coming. Wow, we've been talking about it.
We have been talking about it for quite some time. But I like it. I like that we're actually doing it now.
Yeah. Where are we, Nick?
We are in South Lake Tahoe, California.
Yeah. On accident. We didn't know we were coming to California yesterday.
Yeah, we thought we were going up to like the Pacific Northwest, but we both learned something really interesting about weather patterns is
Hey guys, travel tip number 1 from the Saucy Sibz. You heard it here first. I hope you have your notebooks out. You ready?
Tell us.
It gets colder the further north you go, and the later it gets in the year.
So the closer you are
to Canada,
the colder it is, and the closer you are to Christmas. If I were to plot this on a graph, okay?
Yeah.
The closer you are to Christmas on the y-axis, and the closer you are to Canada on the x-axis, it is colder. I think
it gets colder. Nuts. Honestly,
who knew?
Fucking knew.
You know, and everyone kept on telling us that, guys, I think it's kind of cold up there. And we're like, no, it's fine. I have a 0-degree sleeping bag. Sorry, Grandpa.
No, Grandpa tried to intervene and Mom intercepted. She said they're doing it. Their hearts are set. They're going to Pacific Northwest. And Grandpa said it's too cold. You
can't camp in a tent.
I brought sandals.
I brought like swimsuits. Because and listen, but I did say, I knew it was going to be cold. I knew it was going to suck, but I guess you just don't have to do that. And so we brought all the stuff for warm. And so we were sitting there. I was drinking a Busch Light. You were drinking a double Tito soda at some dive bar in Laramie, Wyoming. Mm-hmm. And we said, yeah, fuck this. Let's just go south. And
we were supposed to go to Jackson Hole, but you guys know it's snowing there.
I love snow, but like put me on a goddamn snowboard.
Yeah, that's the only way that I will tolerate the cold is if like I'm doing extreme sports. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, Nick. Who are we?
What are we
doing?
Well, we are siblings.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Nicodemus.
Francesca.
And we have been weirdly traveling together and like moving to different cities together for about like 2 years now. All because...
Well, first, we're siblings, and we're the Saucy Sibz. Neither of us actually remember where that came from. I feel like it was this one girl in the Grove in St. Louis, the gay district of St. Louis. Someone asked us for a photo and asked us who we were. They just wanted a photo with us. And we were very confused. And she was like, who are you guys? And we were like, we're just like siblings. She's like, you guys are like saucy siblings.
Was that it?
I think that's what it was.
I remember that. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I mean... I think we're definitely saucy in every way, and we're siblings as far as I know. So
we're absolutely siblings.
I know.
Don't put that out there. We both look exactly like our parents.
No, I was joking. Well, no, I just love to pretend. Like, what if your mom is not your mom? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, we know. We know, not who we know.
No, I'm saying
we're
like, anything
absolutely
can happen.
Anything could happen except for you were a spitting image of our mother.
No, I know. I'm not questioning my place in the family. I'm saying, okay. Anyway, I'm getting off. I'm about going on like, well, what if I was from a UFO? No. All right.
God, the Aquarius.
I know, right? I'm an Aquarius, and sometimes I love to pretend like I'm not like from here.
As an Earth. But anyway, we are siblings. We are saucy in every way. Lots of ridiculous antics. We have been somehow moving and traveling together for 2 years. We randomly became best friends.
Right. And a lot of people... they see us being friends and they're just like, oh, I wish I was friends with my brother and sister. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, have you guys always been close? I'm like, actually, no. Mm-mm. So the story is...
Well, Nick was 11 when I went to college.
11.
Like a child.
When you went to college.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so Francesca is a year younger for her grade.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you were young going to college.
So I skipped. I was 17 when I went to college.
Right. And so I was 11 and you're 6 years older than me. And so we haven't lived in the same city since I was 11. And then I was traveling, and then I moved out, and then I went to school in New Mexico, and who knows what the fuck I was doing down there, but it was fun. And then I started traveling a lot. I was all over Asia, and then I got really sick with malaria in India, and I ended up coming home to St. Louis to live with my parents because it took me about like 6 months to like fully heal and, I don't know, just like regenerate my body from that whole story.
That's a whole story.
We'll get into that story. That'll be a whole episode.
But I went straight to New York City from, we can get into our whole story, but basically I was in New York City, and then I was working as a yacht chef in Europe, but then I was back in New York City. And it's weird, Nick, I never put this together. I got sick too. That's what landed us both back in St. Louis. I got sick with Lyme disease and depression, anxiety, stress of working at an agency in Manhattan on Wall Street. And I ended up back at mom and dad's. It was like the last place I wanted to be, but like I was too sick to like live on my own. So we both ended up back in St. Louis, like recuperating. And then we had like a summer once we were both better.
Right. We were hanging out in St. Louis as adults, which we had never really done before. We'd always like stayed in contact and stuff like that, but we'd never done that. And we were going out into the gay district of the Grove in St. Louis, which was such a blast. And so we started becoming really close and being such good friends. And then
I was like, Nick, you're like really cool. I was like, are we best friends?
I was like, were you expecting me not to be cool? Like, Jesus Christ. That's my little brother.
I still do that.
I know it doesn't bother me, but like sometimes it's just like, oh, that's my little brother. He like has friends.
I know. And I've had men be like, do you always introduce him as your little brother? Because he looks
I look older than
you.
you.
Yeah, he has like a beard. He's manly. Honestly, your energy is older.
I mean, I'm a better driver.
Obviously, but that's like another thing. But no, he's kind of an old soul, and I've never been accused of being an old soul.
No. No, like I wouldn't. Yeah. And so, basically I had a dumbass idea, to go to Breckenridge, Colorado to go snowboarding for a winter. So we both moved back to St. Louis in 2019. And then at the beginning of 2020, I was planning on moving to Breckenridge for the winter for about 3 months after the new year to go snowboarding. And so we were kind of like tipsy at Christmas. And I was like, or should I say saucy at Christmas?
We were a little sauced.
We were sauced.
The Vivianos, the wine, that's my mom's maiden name. The wine just flows.
It flows and it continues.
It does.
And maybe a martini here and there.
Yeah.
And so we decided to move. Well, I decided to move, and you came with. Well, not like that.
Because I made Breckenridge kind of happen.
Yeah, sort of.
I was like, you were like just going to go on a whim, which is actually ended up what happening. But it was kind of like, I was like researching homes and how are we going to do it? And like, I love admin work. Like if there's an event planning, if there's a trip to plan, like if there's stuff to research, put me on it. Like sign me up. I'm your girl. But yeah, he was just like, so I think we should go to Breckenridge. And everyone was like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. You need at least $5,000 saved up. It's impossible to live there.
Oh, no way. Love that when people say, you can't do it. It's really expensive. Or, hey, it's like really hard to find housing. And every housing opportunity that we were finding did keep falling through. And like the closer it got to when we were moving, the more it seemed just like a bad idea. So I don't want to say it wasn't a bad idea, but like I'm not the greatest at making decisions anyway.
This is what I like to equate it with, and it's one of my favorite things. In Indiana Jones, when he has to take a step before the ground comes up to meet him. So I think that you need to take like kind of a leap of faith and like you can't manifest things and think that the universe is going to help you without you making the first move and making it known that it's something you really want. So, but when you take that move and when you go for it, like jump without a parachute kind of thing, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you find the coolest connections and spots. And like the universe will, and God, you know, whichever word you want to use, will catch you because fortune favors the bold.
Fortune favors the bold. And that is something that you should tattoo on my forehead. And even if, I had $500 in my account when I moved and people said to me, like my father, hey, what about first, last month and security? And I said, Dad, That's
honestly, I don't recommend what we did.
Thank you for being concerned. I don't have the answer to that question, but everything worked out and we were in Breckenridge and it was great. And so I decided that, even if I had $4,000 in my bank account when that happened, it wasn't going to play out the same way that it did.
No, and we might have not ended up in a better spot.
Exactly.
We would have just taken something and put money down. But I think, and this also goes along with like traveling cheaply. Sometimes when you have less money, better opportunities come.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Not to say that,
no, we love money.
Trust me, if I had 10 extra grand right now, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with some of the decisions that we're doing. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and not do what I want to do just because I might not have enough money in a couple months.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Can we also segue into the fact that, is this a good time to mention that we don't have trust funds?
Let's just leave it at that. We don't have trust funds.
We don't have trust funds and our family does not give us money.
Our parents don't give us money. So I know if people are just like, oh, whatever.
I think that just a lot of people think that that's how we live our lives and what we're doing. And no, honestly, it's wildly irresponsible. Yeah. And sometimes we found ourselves in some really bad predicaments. We've cried in a car together before, wondering,
what are we doing?
Yeah. How, where our next meal is going to come from and what we're doing. But then somehow that's always led us to the next best thing and the next better job and idea. And I think it's taking risks is like a muscle. And sometimes when you're used to it, it's sort of we wouldn't have done what we're doing right now if we hadn't been a little accustomed to taking kind of insane risks.
Right.
So what are we doing right now?
What are we doing right now? We have been bartending and serving for a couple of years now, and the pandemic this, pandemic that, everything has happened, whatever. So we're in these mountain towns. We're in fast forward to Aspen, Colorado. And, we had these really nice, awesome bartending jobs, making a lot of money, and in a really cool town with a great living situation. Mm-hmm. And the thing is I just said, Francesca and I kind of had a come to Jesus moment, and I was like, do you want to do this?
No, because I think that the service industry really opens you up to having time off and to setting your own hours and to making a lot of money without a ton of responsibility. You don't really have to take your work home with you. And I think it's wonderful for that. I needed that after corporate. Nick needed that after writing his book and corporate with him. We wanted to think bigger, and continuing to just work to pay our rent and party and maybe go on a couple vacations a year isn't the only things we wanted.
I wanted to be full-time traveling. And as much as the bartending scene and the serving scene has just been so absolutely wonderful to me and has, given me the opportunity to snowboard and do all these things and actually go on a lot of trips because the service industry is so flexible, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And that is why we looked at each other and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Why don't we quit our really fun, awesome jobs and go live out of a Chevy Equinox and go travel around the country to the Pacific Northwest where we didn't know got cold.
Yeah,
and
super cold.
Yeah, so we are traveling around the country right now, living out of a Chevy Equinox, just me and Francesca and our dog Zaza. Well, it's your dog, not mine. And
he only claims her a little bit.
I claim her in photographs.
Yeah.
Dogs are really photogenic.
He was like, wow, she's really comfortable at mom and dad's. I would say we could leave her, but she's great for content. And I was like, wow. I mean, she's coming either way because...
No, I don't care that
we
she's
can talk.
here.
Actually, I can tell a Zaza story. Maybe...
and she's the best travel dog. So if I had a dog that couldn't travel well, I'd be like, all right, whoops. I don't know if Francesca, the car was unlocked. Someone took it. I'm kidding. I would never.
No, I know.
I would never.
Za would shank you.
No, Za would shank me. But anyway, so that's exactly what we're doing. Just us three traveling around the country. And we have somehow landed ourselves in Tahoe where we were recording this podcast from an Airbnb.
Well, we thought it was an Airbnb, but travel tip number 2. Sometimes your Airbnb can be a hotel and they don't tell you.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yeah, we showed up and yeah, but it's fine. It's super cute. It's very mountainy.
It is a cute little mountain town.
We have a little desk.
We do have a workspace. And so that is what we're doing. And then tonight we are going to go out
We're both getting on the dating apps.
We're going to get on the dating apps.
Trying to find ourselves a boat.
If any man has a boat in Tahoe, just let us know.
Yeah.
At Saucy Sibz. Whichever one you want. Francesca or me, just let me know.
So we're going.
And here we are.
We've taking
gone.
off. Yeah, we have been gone.
We have been gone.
We've been done doing it.
And we're out here in Tahoe.
That's where we are right now. And we're open to like other places. We basically have 3 months. We're going to travel until Christmas. We're going to go home to our family in St. Louis. My birthday is the end of November. We were going to go to Napa, but I think we're going to Napa next week.
We just couldn't wait.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we're going to leave it at that and see you guys in a couple days.
Next week.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I love this and I can't wait to tell you more on what we get into.
All right. Cheers, Nick.
Cheers.
Let's find a bar to go to in Tahoe.
Go check it out.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's keys.